Hey, welcome back to America's Funniest Handyman, where today I'm going to be installing not one, not two, but three pet doors. There's one down there, there's one over there, and there's one over there by my basement door. I'm going to explain this all in just a second, but I did want to introduce you to the boys that are going to be using the pet door. They're meowing right now because I'm being a tease and I'm holding up some food. So let me put that down. That's Zuka and Louie. Those are my sweet boys that I'm going to start letting outside of my house. And I'm going to use these pet doors as a way for them to get in and out of the house and a way for them to get in and out of the basement, because I'm going to put their litter box down in the basement and I want them to be able to go down there. And at the same time, I do want to be able to close off all of these pet doors. So each pet door has a way of being stopped up. They all have some sort of, this one over here by the basement has a little latch. Okay, here I am. I'm sitting down on the ground so that I can show you what's going on with these three different pet doors. Because every pet door that I've bought, there's three of them, they're all different and specific for each door and for each use. So you want to be very careful about picking out your pet door before you install it. A couple of tips that I'm going to give you right now. You want to make sure to think about how thick the door is. If it's an interior door, it's probably 1 3/8 inches thick, most likely. Measure twice, cut once. If it's an exterior door, it's probably 1 3/4 inches thick. So you have to take that into account. You need to know what you're cutting into. Is your door steel or wood or fiberglass? That'll determine how you cut it and what type of blades that you're going to use. The storm door that's on the outside is only about 1/8 of an inch thick. So if I got a pet door that was made for a thicker door, I would have trouble putting that together. So you'll see in just a minute when I get over to that door why I chose that one. This one is the one that's going to be going down into the basement. You can see Louie is familiar with pet doors because I just moved from a different house where they had a door leading to the outside. And I am, on this video, at the end of the video, I will talk about the pros and the cons of letting your cats out. But these type of pet doors, and this instructional video is good for all types of pet doors, whether they're small, whether they're big, whether they're for a dog, a cat, a giraffe, or a penguin. Doesn't matter what kind of animal. It must be a land mammal. I'm just going to tell you that these types of pet doors, not so good for aquatic animals. You know, a lot of water comes through. You don't want that happening. You don't want to flood the basement by putting in a pet door in your aquarium. Am I right? Am I right? Okay. All right. So, in order to get these in, you want to use the template that comes with the each pet door will typically come with a pet template. If they don't come with a template, you want to see where the cutout is, and you want to cut slightly bigger than that cutout. And sometimes you're going to have to cut on both sides of the door. I like this door for the basement because first of all, it's going to work on this door and the thickness, but it's also got this little red thing here, which allows me to lock the door if I don't want the boys in the basement. So that'll stop the door from opening and closing if I want it to. Right now it's opening and closing. So let's say I'm eating dinner and they're bugging the hell out of me and want my food. And they're jumping on everybody's lap while we're eating, because my cats are very much like the birds, the seagulls at the New Jersey shore. They will jump right up and grab your french fries and run off with them. So sometimes when we're eating, I will put some food in the basement and lock them in the basement while we're eating. Anyway, the other thing that you want to take into account before you figure out where to mount your door is you want to measure the distance from the ground to the bottom of the belly of the animal that you're doing, and give them like another 1/2 inch to 1 inch, so that they're not scraping their belly when they're walking through the pet door on either side. So my cats, their bellies are about 6 inches, so I'm making these pet doors about 5 inches off the ground, and that way they can go through. So that one is, this one is drawn on and ready to go. Let me show you the next one. Okay, let me turn this right here. Now the next one, oops, I don't want to show you that one yet. Okay, so the next one is going on my thick exterior door, which is a steel door. How do you cut through steel and metal? Well, the metal isn't that thin, but I'm going to talk about that in a second. We'll get to the tools that you want to use in just a minute. But this door in particular, I like because it has a flap that I can put up and down, because with my cats, what I like to do is at the end of the day at around 8 or 9 o'clock, I like to bring them in and shut them out from the outside because I just don't like them wandering around all night long. They're nocturnal. They're you know, kind of, they do really well at night. So if I don't lock them out, they'll go out there wandering, and I just don't want them getting in trouble and wandering too far. So I keep my cats in at nighttime. And then also, these come in real handy if you have some animals in the area that are trying to get into your house when your animal isn't using the door. So those types of flaps come in handy. And as you can see, this will fit on a thicker door. And so that's the one I'm going to use for this door. And then I chose this one over here because my cats need to go in and out of 2 doors. They need to go through the main kitchen door, and then they need to go through the storm door. And I don't want to get rid of the storm door because it helps the house stay warmer in the wintertime and cooler in the summertime. So I got this door, which is slightly different, but look at that. It will sandwich right onto this piece of metal right here and make a nice seal. So that's it. Why don't we get up off the ground, and I'll show you the couple of tools that I'm going to use, and then we'll cut everything and put it together, and we'll see how long it takes me to install 3 pet doors in one evening. Okay, here's the tools that I'm going to use. It's not very complicated, but I have a jigsaw to make the main cuts, the straight line cuts, and most of the cuts. And I have a metal blade for the, I have different types of blades. I have a wooden door and 2 metal doors to cut through. So I have some extra metal blades for my jigsaw, just in case they wear out while I'm using them. And then I also have some wooden blades that you can see here for the wooden door. And then look at Louie. Louie's already excited to get out. So, and then I have my multi-tool right here, which is going to help me finish the cuts or cut into any areas where it's a little tricky. And then the other thing that I used on this job was a pencil and my stick measure to make sure that everything comes out exactly where I want it. And then not pictured here in this picture, you're obviously going to need a screw gun and an impact driver. So I use a drill and an impact driver to get everything finished at the end. I'll show you that in just a second. But right now, let's get these holes cut so that Louie and Zuka can start going outside. Okay? Alrighty, let's go then. Okay, this is much easier if you take the door down. Sometimes you can't take sometimes it's just more difficult to take the door down than it's worth. Whoa. You get back in the house, buddy. See that? They want to come out. They want to come outside already, but sometimes it's easier to take the door down. And sometimes the door that you want to take down isn't that easy to take down, so it's easier to cut it in place. We're going to see that both of those situations today, because my main kitchen door is easy to take down. The basement door, also easy to take down. The storm door, which you can see right there, it's got a ton of screws in it. I'm just going to leave it and cut it in place. So anyway, let's get busy.
Maybe you can't tell a joke, but when your stuff gets broke, what do you do? You give Tommy a call, whether it's large or small. There's no project he can't see through. Let's laugh and learn from this handyman, with Kitty hold this by his side, fixing stuff in a serious way with a not so serious guy.
So I got that one working, checked it out. Opens and closes, and I can just stake this down right in there if I don't want them to get out. Now, I'm gonna cut the hole in the storm door and put the one in the storm door in. What do you think about that? You know what? You may be asking yourself, why did I cut through this nice, pretty molding configuration here. And I'll tell you why, because it's my house and I can do whatever the hell I want to do. But actually the real reason is this is an old metal door and it's not that well insulated. The glass is really thin. So someday I'm going to replace this door. I'm going to get a different one. So I know down the road that this door is going to get swapped out for something else. That's all.
Swing the hammer, turn the screw, cut the saw and stick the glue, shave the shim, clamp the vise, cut once, measure twice. Drill the hole and fill the hole, put the thingy in the hole. Be sure you're having fun, measure twice, cut once.
Okay, check it out. There's Louie already trying to go down to the basement. I've got that one goes down to the basement so that I can put their litter box in the basement and it won't stink up the house. And then over here, I've got one in each door so that they can go out the storm door and they can go out the regular door. So, let's see. Can you see all that? Yeah, you do. So I promised you that I would, come here buddy, come here. So I promised you that I would give you the pros and cons of letting your cats do as they please, go in and out whenever they want to go in and out. So, and that's what I'm going to do right now. So the pros of letting your cats out and letting them do what they want during the day is that they have a much more healthy psychology, because cats are predators, natural predators, one of the best designed predators on the face of the planet. So when you take away their ability to hunt and kill things and eat things, you are messing with their psychology. Now, I also state while I'm doing these pros and cons that this is my opinion, and a lot of people out there who have indoor cats will not agree with me, and that's okay. I don't think that people that have indoor cats and keep their cats indoors all the time are terrible people. I don't think that they're doing the wrong thing. As a matter of fact, there's a lot of places where it's not a good idea to let your cat in and out, like if you live in a busy city or you live on a busy street. So I moved to the last house I lived in, and this house, which I just purchased. Nice, quiet neighborhood, hardly any traffic coming down my street, and I'm 2 or 3 blocks from any sort of busy street. And I want to let you know that another pro of letting them in and out is they won't tear apart your house. Before I started letting them in and out just now, they were bugging the shit out of me, especially when it's dinner time and when I got home in the afternoon. I mean, and when I get up in the morning, they just really wanted to go out and kill some mice. So that's what I think. I think that they get to live a much more natural life when they're going in and out. Now, I will give you the cons, the negative aspects of letting your cat in and out of the house like this. One of the negative things is there's a risk factor involved. They could get hit by a car. They could get into a fight with another larger animal in the neighborhood. I will give you my experience on both of those things. None of my cats have ever been hunted or viciously bullied by another animal in the neighborhood. And cats are super fast, man. They can get away from any dog that's chasing them. So that's something that you don't need. I don't worry about that thing. I do worry about them getting run over a little bit because I've been an indoor-outdoor cat person ever since I was a kid. That's how I was raised. All of our cats, my whole life, have been indoor-outdoor cats, and we've always lived in neighborhoods where there wasn't much traffic. But that being said, I did once live on a busy road, and we let the cat in and out, and one of our cats got hit by a car, and he didn't need to be put down. He was just killed instantly. So that is a risk factor. It's a risk I am willing to take because I feel, this is my opinion, that a short, natural life where they are happy out doing what comes natural to them is much better than a long life trapped indoors where they feel like they're in a fishbowl and they can't get outside and they just dream all day of getting out until they stop dreaming and they become a caged bird who no longer sings. So the other drawback to letting your cats out is having to deal with indoor cat Nazis who feel like no cat should ever be outside. I kind of feel like there was one more negative thing, but I think that was it. Oh, the other negative thing is they will kill and eat some of the local wildlife. Both of my boys come into the house with mice, moles, voles, squirrels, and occasionally a bird. But I will say this in their defense, whenever they bring them in, they eat almost the entire animal. That could present a risk if the animal has some sort of disease, but it's also very healthy because they're eating healthy stuff. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. This is how you put in a couple of cat doors. It's very simple. I wish you luck, and thanks again for joining me on America's Funniest Handyman. As always, thanks for letting us bring a whole lot of experience and a little bit of humor onto your job site. We'll see you next time.